Hey everyone, I just wanted to take this time to give a quick shout out to someone important in the ufology, consciousness, and exopolitical arena, and his name is Thomas Mikey Schrader Jensen. Thomas and I spoke at Miles Johnson's Basis 2025 International Disclosure Conference in England back in December, and his presentation really blew me away. I followed Thomas's work for years, going all the way back to when he and Billy Carson first started identifying anomalies together and taking anomaly hunting from an unknown practice and turn it into a public obsession. And I've watched him stay consistent in how he approaches this kind of work, being image-focused, methodical, and evidence-based. Thomas, with all his years of identifying anomalies and with help from NASA's own Mars Global Surveyor and the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, which is higher resolution from the CTX and the high-rise cameras they use, he's discovered what's being referred to as the M18 anomaly on Mars. I have personally seen this imagery with my own eyes up close on a 10-foot by 20-foot projector screen, not screenshots, not reposts, not actual. These are literally the actual NASA images that were supposed to have been burned and destroyed and that were hid from the public, that were not airbrushed and survived the censorship. And what it appears is none of this is random geology. It presents as something constructed as being either built by intelligence, either a ship, a base, or some kind of corporate style structure built directly into the Martian rocky strata with curved surfaces that feels intentional, what looks like glass or composite material, and a placement that suggests it's designed to overlook an entire valley. And this thing is huge. This thing is literally hidden from ground level, which makes it extremely suspicious to think it's natural with its sheer size. That placement matters more than you can fathom. I think this thing is like way bigger than 170 meters. That is freaking massive. That's way bigger than you can imagine. Literally, erosion does not care about a vantage point to hide itself, and when something looks so seated in rock instead of simply sitting on top of it, you're literally not talking about a surface anomaly. You're getting into realms of intentional, tactical, and into intelligent design that's hard to dismiss. I've always wanted to be involved in work like this and join the Anomaly Hunters crew because due to my traumatic brain injury from hitting the wall at 120 miles per hour and giving me brain damage, it also inadvertently allowed me to have the ability to naturally notice patterns, anomalies, out of sync background noises that don't line up. And to me, it's an instantaneous slap to the face. And I'm like, oh, what was that? By simply recognizing when symmetry breaks when it shouldn't. Thomas's presentation was top-notch because it was obvious he comes from a production background, as the slides were clean, the imagery was high quality, the documentary footage was well put together, and nothing felt sloppy or rushed, which matters. Because serious material falls apart if it's presented poorly, and this was not. This was an amazing presentation. It's also important to understand that the M18 was only a single anomaly he presented out of the voluminous anomalies he presented, which was part of a much larger body of work. And anybody who's walked in thinking this was a one-off curiosity walked out realizing it was part of a pattern. It was obvious to everybody. Everything he submitted to us, it was crazy. Such high-quality images, and no one knows about this kind of stuff. This guy needs to get an award. He showed additional images of massively tall skyscraper buildings, pyramids, crashed ships, and sculptures made by something. These discoveries are potentially some of the most important discoveries of our time and proves that Mars is inhabited and that we've been lied to about life on other planets by NASA and our own worldwide governments. This proves beyond a reasonable doubt that life on Mars exists. Technology is being used to create structures or ships, and that the rabbit hole goes deeper than any of us ever could have ever imagined.